Wisegivers, welcome back and greetings from Guayaquil, Ecuador. This video is about my friend Danielle Aguirre, who is an English and French teacher at one of the poorer schools here in Guayaquil, Ecuador. I met Dani a little bit over a year ago at a Transform World conference here in Guayaquil. When I heard Dani's story, I knew that I wanted to come back and see what the Lord is doing in her life, through her life, as well as the other girls here in Ecuador. I was able to go with Dani for 3 days to her school, and we went through the different classes, and the children were so excited to meet me, and I was so excited to meet them. Even though I only speak a little bit of Spanish, we were able to still communicate, and I think I've had more hugs and more kisses within 3 days than I had all of last year. Like, every time I walked into a room, or Dani and I walked into a room, the kids would come to us and just give us hugs and kisses, and a couple times I even almost fell over. It was like hug attacks. During 2 of the days, they had a science fair going on that they had been working on for the whole year. So it was really neat to be a part of that, and each stand that I went to, the kids are so generous that I had a huge stash of candy at the end of the day, as well as a ton of sweet notes from the children and little gifts like erasers and a flashlight and keychains. So they're so sweet. It was an amazing experience, and Dani is making a huge difference in the lives of these children. I can tell from the stories she's told me, as well as the joy that I see on the faces of the children when they come into her class or when they see her. It's evident that God is working mightily in her life and through her life to draw many children to the Lord. And since her time working at this school for not even a year yet, there have been 10 children who have given their lives to the Lord, as well as many more who have grown in their understanding of who God is, as well as come closer to the point of receiving Jesus Christ. I hope her story encourages you and challenges you to be intentional in whatever season or season of life or platform that God has given you, in the workplace or in ministry, to be intentional about living for Christ and speaking boldly the gospel of Jesus Christ so that others can have a relationship with Him as well. God bless and enjoy.
Hello, my name is Danielle Aguirre. I'm from Ecuador. I was born here in Guayaquil. I'm a teacher. I teach English and French. I speak English, French, and Spanish. Then I'm Christian, the most important thing. I'm Christian, and yes. It has been changing my life in so many ways. First of all, I can see the grace of God in my family, because my dad at first was an alcoholic man, an alcoholic husband, and then my mom, she didn't want to know anything about God. But then Jesus arrived to our lives, and then He changed my world, my family, my everything. So I'm very thankful to God, because now I'm a new person, and I know that He has a purpose for me, and He has a purpose for everyone else. But we need to trust in Him. Mm-hmm. Just trust in Him, and then He's gonna make His purpose on us. So we are so priceless for Him. That's one of the things that I have learned in my way with God. I'm so priceless. I'm so priceless. And then He asked me to be brave. So one of my favorite verses in the Bible is Joshua 1:9, because He said, we have to be brave and courageous. I don't know if that is correct. So yeah, God has been changing me in all the ways, and I know that He's gonna change some things that are not too good in my life. But I'm ready. I'm ready for that, because I know He loves me, and whatever He does in my life, I know that it's because He loves me and He wants a better life for me. Okay, at first I hated. I hated this job because I was like, no, never. I'm not gonna be a teacher because I really hate it. But before, then I was studying two careers at the beginning. I was studying to be a journalist and to be well, the languages, because there was French and English. So I studied both careers. Then the president, there was a law in my country that said that you have to choose only one career. So I didn't know what career take. Then I prayed to God, and He told me like, you have to go through this. So, but I was like, no, I don't want, because I want to be the best journalist in the world. I wanted to work at CNN in United States. But then I said, okay, I can study languages, and then I'm gonna study to be a journalist. Then through the past of the years, I was falling in love with the languages and with the career. So when I went to an orphanage, yes, an orphanage.
Yeah.
Yes, when I went to an orphanage, I was really loving my career. Then I traveled to France because I won a scholarship. Then I traveled and I worked there as a Spanish teacher. It was a very, very good experience. And there I knew some new strategies to teach. In that case, Spanish. So then I came back to Ecuador, and I practiced my career in some high schools and school, and then I say, okay, I like teaching. And finally, the final point that makes me to say I love my career was in this school. When I came to this school 6 months or 7 months later, I was like, I love the kids. I love like they learn English and French. So when I teach, I'm trying to serve God, because I think that is my goal, to serve God. I want to be a missionary, maybe one day. I don't know when, but maybe one day it's gonna happen. But I'm trying here to talk about Jesus. That Jesus, not only to teach the subject, English or French or whatever, but I would like the kids, because I'm teaching to kids, learn about Jesus, learn about God, learn about that He has a purpose on His life, on their lives. So that's why I love teaching. I'm so happy because when I see or when I hear some kids telling me that, Miss, I want to study English, I want to be a professional. Before I arrived here in this school, it wasn't like that, because most of the students didn't want to study English because they said, no, English is so boring, so difficult, I don't like it. Then I told him, no, but you can study this language because you can travel around the world, or you can use the language to your job maybe in the future. And then we did different activities like songs, videos, and they fall in love with English. So for me, that they like English, that they love English, for me it's like I'm doing good work with them, but it's not me, it's God through me. Because before going to the school, I pray. I say, please God, let me arrive there in a better way. So let me to be a good teacher. Please teach me how to be a good teacher, because Jesus was a teacher. When He lived in this earth, He was a teacher. So when I pray, I tell Him, please Jesus, teach me how I teach. So as I said before, I like to teach, and that is my goal, to teach not only the subject but also about God's love. And then the kids inspire me to follow with this career. because some of them told me, Miss, I really want, and this is the end of the year, of the whole year of the school, so they are telling me like, Miss, I really want to study English, I really want to be a professional because I want to be a soccer player, or I want to be a musician or anything else, but I want to study English because maybe one day I can travel to there. And I'm like, wow, so that for me is amazing to see the before and after. Before I arrived here, they hate it, but now they love it. So that is very good to me. And then there is a son that they really love. There is a man for King and Country. So yeah, I decided, I said, if I'm gonna be a teacher, I'm going to teach songs by Christian songs, because that is gonna be something, it will be something meaningful for them. So it's not only to teach, okay, this is a song in English, no. So they love that song, they sing with passion, with so much passion. Yes, there is another thing. When we start the week, we pray, and that is very, very important for us and for the kids. This week, it was a Monday, the last Monday, one of the girls told me, Miss, please, after we pray, she told me, Miss, please, can we pray for my dad because he is in coma? So I was like, sure. So I told with the student, I told them, okay guys, we're gonna pray for her dad. And they said, okay, for sure, Miss, okay, come on. And they prayed. So for me, that moment was very, very meaningful. It was very important because all of them were engaged with the prayer. And then in my other job, because as I told you before, I'm a French teacher, I talk with the kids about when Jesus is gonna come here. And then I'm like, yeah, so he's gonna come here. They are so curious. So after that, they say, how can I do to go to heaven? And then I share that you only need to receive Jesus in your hearts. And they say, okay. And I ask the story, telling them, do you want to receive him in your hearts? And they say, yes, Miss. So they pray and they accept the Lord and in his hearts. So that is amazing. That inspires me. And I know that God is working because those things happens.
Mm-hmm.
To you that are watching me now, I'm going to tell you that trust in God. He knows what he does. Trust him, and you're gonna see that what he's gonna do in your lives. He's working on me, and he's gonna work in the same way with you. But you just need to obey him and to trust him, and then the things are gonna happen. So don't worry if you have problems. Don't worry, pray God, because God is in us, and he is our strength. Chao, muchas gracias.